got that, and then the NFL draft. It was quite the it started off with a little bit of fireworks, and then it kind of fizzled out. Bryce Young went number 1 as expected, and then nobody really knew what Houston was going to do with number 2. They end up taking C.J. Stroud, and there was some questions if Houston actually liked C.J. Stroud. There was some talk of Levis or Anthony Richardson being taken. Also figured out that C.J. Stroud and Deshaun Watson have the same agent, but it looks, and there was some talk that the agent and the Texans front office would there was some bad blood between the Deshaun Watson trade and how that all went down. But it seems like the Texans front office and Deshaun Watson's agent were able to massage things out and sign another client for the Texans.
Well, and here's the thing, CJ. If you want a massage when you're in Houston, male masseuse only. That should be written.
If you're gonna be an adult, this has nothing to do with Watson anymore. He has nothing to do with this client. Who the fuck cares?
I just tried to get a joke in. That's all I was going for here.
But no, I wanted to have a little fun. They wanted people to talk about him. In a way, I think they almost wanted to rile CJ up a little bit and get him pissed off. Like, hey, we don't like you, this S2 score, which I'd never heard about until Monday. Nobody did.
It's new. They got rid of the Wonderlic. So that's like their new Wonderlic test, I think.
Supposedly, Brock Purdy did fantastic on it last year.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. I mean, but he did great on it, and he went Mr. Relevant. And he became Mr. Relevant. So,
yeah,
maybe it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But overall, what did you guys think of Chiefs-Vikings draft? How what would you well, I mean, now that the draft's over, every team is in love with their board. They got everybody when they wanted him at the right value. They were the first player ranked on their big board, and they're going 17-0 and winning the Super Bowl.
I didn't mind the Vikings draft. I mean, that's weird. I don't know anything about after the first 2 picks, but Jordan Addison, stud, probably honestly the most NFL ready receiver in the draft, I'd say. But I didn't know what to expect from the Vikings this year. I know I said they were going to trade up a hooker. That obviously was false. That didn't happen. But the corner for USC seems like a higher upside guy. Other than that, I mean, I don't know anything else about the guy, who they took. But I would have liked to see him take a quarterback a little earlier. I'm not sure what to think of the BYU guy. He doesn't look super impressive on tape or anything. Ron Johnson was saying he likes him. But, I mean, Ron Johnson says a lot of stupid shit, so you never really know.
This is just a guy who's maybe a backup in the league, or, down the road, people get some game tape on him in the preseason, and Arizona needs a backup quarterback or a practice squad quarterback, and he's just a waiver guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it seems to me. They say every year a team should draft a quarterback. I mean, for the most part, for the longest time, the Chiefs did every single year. But now they don't have to. But just in case, somebody wants to have one for a 7th round pick, or just, a practice squad guy in case you need him. That's all this is. You can't tell me Jordan Hall. Is that his name, Jordan Hall? You can't tell me Jaron Hall, whatever it is. You can't tell me he's a starter in this league if Kirk leaves after this year or the year after that, whatever it is.
They need to figure something out, because you can't go in the next year with JJ on the last year of his contract and Kirk with nothing there, or extending Kirk, because you can't afford that.
Well, remember, they picked up JJ's 5th-year option.
So he's at $19 million.
So technically, they got him through 2024, so they got that safety blanket there, which is nice.
Yeah. But even then, I wouldn't want to go on basically a 1-year deal next year. I wouldn't.
Well, yeah, because
I feel like they're gonna try to get something done before training camp. Would be my guess.
His value is only going to go up.
Yeah.
I mean, if for some reason you wait until after this year, what if the Bengals get something done with Jamar next year, and JJ is a better receiver than Jamar? He's got better numbers than him. He's going to want more money, so his price tag is only going to get higher. Which, and I know we're not talking about the Vikings here now, but that's why Howie Roseman looks like a genius. We got Jalen Hurts on a cheap deal now. compared to what Lamar just got, and then what Burrow's going to get, and what Herbert. I mean,
yeah,
that's why. But so to your point, just get JJ's deal done.
Get JJ's deal done, and honestly, like, what are the 49ers going to do with Lance? Go get Trey. Give up a third round.
Yeah, I thought there would be something. There would be some movement there.
There has to be some.
You know, because Dom Izzo talked about it on his show that he said he wasn't going to be surprised if Cook and Zadarius Smith were all gone and Trey Lance was moved to a different team as well.
Yeah, I think Cook and Zadarius are both going to be gone.
Well, you know, guys, I think with Trey, I think we need to realize this is, you know, Brock Purdy said 2 weeks ago, I don't know if I'm going to be able to play this year or throw. Yet he's got to get that brace off his elbow. So if you're the Niners, I don't think you can just give away Trey because it doesn't work out. What if Brock can't go? You really going to roll into the season with Sam Darnold?
There was one report I read yesterday saying they just love Darnold and they think he fit their offense perfectly, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, every fucking team has said that's had him.
Yeah, but I mean, I will say this. If there's one coach in the NFL, I believe that, who can do that, it's Kyle Shanahan in this offense and that running game.
Yeah.
But...
And it's the best team that Darnold's played for, too. I mean, that has to account for something.
Here in a little...
I mean, look at who he played for. He played for the Jets and the Panthers, both dysfunctional franchises, and Adam Gase was his head coach. You know, that's tough tough to really...
Todd Bowles didn't have a chance because look at how bad that Jets roster was his last year.
Oof.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm done going sideways there.
Yeah. Well, it was a interesting draft. I thought we didn't see a whole lot of trades. It felt like that first day, other than when the big one where the Texans moved up to 3 to take Will Anderson. You know, I was happy with the Cowboys draft. You know, they actually went with a big need. You know, they haven't been able to stop the run since I think Leon Lett played for the Cowboys, and they first round they
90s when they were winning Super Bowls.
Yeah, Leon Lett.
Yeah.
Went and got Mozzie Smith, the D tackle out of Michigan, a run stuffer. If he's able to, he's not going to show up a lot on the stat sheet, but he's going to do a lot of the dirty work. He's going to let guys like, if he's able to get a pass rush from the inside as well, that's just going to free up guys like Lawrence, Parsons, Fowler, Dorrance Armstrong as well, guys like them to really free up more. And they said that this was the highest ranked D tackle, and that's why they haven't gone D tackle early in the draft. And then in round 2, they took Luke Schoonmaker, tight end out of Michigan. You know, I think if he stays healthy, I think he'd be pretty good. If feels like a lot like a Jason Witten, just knows how to get open. I personally maybe would have liked to see somebody a little bit more explosive, but a guy that knows how to get open, someone across the middle, that's going to be one of Dak's best friends. And then round 3, they take DeMarvion Overshown, linebacker out of Texas. When they were talking about him on the draft on NFL Network, they talked about how he was a really good spy, which when you're playing a guy like Jalen Hurts twice a year, even a guy like Daniel Jones who's mobile as well, you need somebody to keep an eye on the quarterback and not let them get those yards. The scouting report that I looked at, it said it's not always the prettiest, but he gets it done. So you know what? That's what you need out of a linebacker. And then they favorite pick of the draft was when they got to draft Deuce Vaughn. I don't know if you guys saw him getting drafted. His dad was a longtime scout for the Cowboys. He was one of my favorite players to watch last year. Just a nice shifty back. I'm not sure how much he's going to play, but I think, you know, you give him 6 to 8 touches a game, I think he's going to have an impact on it. And then the other 2 I didn't really know about. They didn't get a round 5 pick. That was a Stephon Gilmore pick. So hope if he works out, you know, that's a heck of a draft pick then there. And then they got a Jalen Brooks, a wide receiver out of South Carolina. I know nothing about the guy. And then in round 4, it was Villani Fehoko, an edge, Grant's favorite position out of San Jose State. You know, he's provide depth. You can move him around a little bit. Someone that you can have in on first and second down, and then let Parsons come in on the edge on third down to get go get a sack and go get the quarterback. But overall, I was happy with the draft. So it's still a couple of things. I'd like to see them pick up a running back. Jerry and I might be on board of picking up Zeke as well if it's a team-friendly deal, because I don't think you can run Pollard 25 times a game. I think you need to find a balance between, I think if Zeke can stay at that 12 to 15 range, Pollard 10 rushes, 5 catches out of the backfield, and then Deuce Vaughn coming to spell him out as well. I think that's a good solid. And then the tight end, if Luke Schoonmaker was able to work out, I really like the way this offense goes and this defense. I think they're ready to compete. They were last year. And the smartest man in the sports business, Skip Bayless, said the Cowboys have a better roster than the Eagles, and he's never been wrong before, so I'm going to trust him.
So we're moving on.
Yeah. How about those Chiefs?
I liked it. Like Louis Riddick said, when I was watching on the plane, every single pick this team has is a luxury pick. When you look at the quarterback, the tight end, the young running back they found in the 7th round, the young secondary, the playmakers at linebacker, Chris Jones, George Karlaftis, there wasn't too many holes. There was some holes this team had, but you know what? With their first 3 picks, they filled them in. Pick number 1, it's cool. You get the kid from Kansas City who went to Kansas State, and I can already tell I'm going to ruin this name, but I think it's Felix Anduke Usamoa.
Yep.
Sure.
Former, originally an NDSU commit. Actually, he was part of that 19. He was part of Kleiman's would have been last class at NDSU, and then flipped his commitment when Kleiman got the job at Kansas State. So, fun fact for you guys on a Monday, on a Wednesday, or on a Thursday that was recorded on a Monday.
Fun fact Friday being recorded on a Monday, released on a Thursday. But you know what? His nickname at Kansas State was King Felix, and I'm a fan. His stats these last 2 years, 19 and a half sacks, but the most important one, guys, 8 forced fumbles. If you can get some kid with speed coming off the edge and you get Mahomes an extra possession because you get the ball out of the other team's quarterback's hands, I love it. And it's what they need. They got the power rusher and George on the other end. You draft Felix. He's a little more speed guy. Coming off the other edge. I'm a fan. And he grew up a Chiefs fan. It feels like a dream. The draft was in Kansas City. It's really cool. And then the pick that I thought was kind of most interesting was the 2nd round pick, Rashee Rice, the wide receiver out of SMU.
Jerry Rice's son.
Before the draft, you see that Mahomes worked out with Quentin Johnson and Zay Flowers. And I think that was the Chiefs' way of maybe playing a little poker here, saying, hey, we like these receivers. Patrick worked out with them. We got his advice on there. Who do the Los Angeles Chargers take? Quentin Johnson. After that, Baltimore, they take Zay Flowers. When all along, after working out with all these guys, Patrick said, hey, Rashee Rice, that kid from Dallas, SMU, take him. He's our guy. So they went in a day 2, and they got the guy Patrick said they get. He averaged 112 yards a game last year at SMU, number 1 in the FBS. And Daniel Jeremiah said he's got the same body who can kind of replace Juju Smith-Schuster, a big possession guy, going to get you a lot of catches. And I thought they were going to go speed, guys, but to be honest, I think they think Justin Ross can be healthy because they got him last year, on the rookie free agent deal. He broke his foot, wasn't able to play. Sounds like he's been balling out this year when they've been working out. He's learning the route.
My fantasy team loves the sound
Justin Ross, it's over.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He was their best. He was the best receiver at Clemson.
Easy.
When he was healthy.
Broken his neck, guys, he would have been the first round receiver last year.
The fact we're talking about a guy playing in the NFL that broke his neck is kind of fucked up in the first place. So if he can do it, that's pretty impressive.
So you hope he can come back from the broken neck and the broken foot he had last year. But I think the Chiefs think they got something Justin Ross with their speedster there. And then their 3rd round pick, we're seeing a pipeline here. The Kansas City Chiefs and Oklahoma Sooners offensive lineman, Wanda Morris, their right tackle. He played with Creed Humphrey. I don't think he played with Orlando Brown. You even saw rumors that the Chiefs wanted, was it Anton Harrison, the young man?
The guy that Jacksonville took,
There's reports that the Chiefs tried to trade up with Dallas, a pick above Jacksonville, to get Harrison, and had Cam Robinson not been suspended for PEDs, maybe he would have been there for the Chiefs. But we're seeing.
Yeah, well, that's why that was like kind of a late rumblings, is that Jacksonville was going to take a lineman because there was that talk of Cam Robinson
and
being
you lose
suspended.
Jawan Taylor to Kansas City in the offseason, too, so you're down your 2 starting tackles. But we're seeing a pipeline. University of Oklahoma offensive lineman to the Kansas City Chiefs. Creed Humphrey, Orlando Brown Jr. A lot of Oklahoma linemen work out in the NFL. They got one of the best offensive line coaches in college football. I'm a fan for it. The Chiefs coach, he'll get his hands on him and get him right. And then, now as we kind of go down the rest of their picks, they're, like I said, they're just kind of luxury picks. Is it Chamani Connor, a cornerback safety type from Virginia Tech? Just another guy Spags can plug and play and move around with. Position versatility, a thing he loves. But with the young secondary they have, getting Mike Edwards in the offseason, I don't know if he's going to find the field, if he'd be a special teamer this year, if they think L'Jarius Sneed's going to go after this year, because you got to re-sign Chris Jones, so maybe bring him in a year. He learns the system. He's a pro. I don't know how it is. But they traded up for a lot of their picks too, so it shows that they wanted these guys and they went out and they got them. And then B.J. Thompson, the D end out of Stephen F. Austin, he's 6'6", he's 235 pounds, and I think he's got like a 77-inch wingspan. Another off the edge. He's raw, but you know what? It's someone the Chiefs, they're saying we got to play Herbert twice. We got to play Jimmy G, Russell Wilson, Herbert. I already said Herbert, Burrow, Allen, Trevor Lawrence. You can't have enough fast, long.
Kirk Cousins.
We got to play Kirk Cousins this year. Got to go to U.S. Bank Stadium. Vikes might put up 28 points in that game. I wouldn't be surprised if they put up 30. You can't have enough long, athletic defensive ends coming off the edge, especially with this quarterback you have. You're going to be playing with a lead. And then my favorite pick of the day, just because of this young man's nickname, is it Keandre Coburn, nose tackle from Texas? They call him Snacks. If there's one position...
Can't go wrong with a guy nicknamed Snacks.
Plays at the University of Texas. Are you kidding me? That's fantastic. I think he's like 330 pounds. If you look at it, the Chiefs could use a nose tackle, someone big next to Chris Jones to plug up the middle for Nick Bolton, Willie Gay, Leo Chanel, and Drew Tranquil. One of the best linebacking cores in the NFL this team slowly has. So if you can get some, he's a 6th-rounder, so he's got to prove that he can make the team. But, if you get a big run stuffer in the middle, that only helps this team. And so, like I said, I'm a fan of this draft. They filled out their needs, and then they kind of added some luxury picks to get going. So, we're ready. We're ready for football.
Yes, we are. I think that was a theme, though, that you saw throughout the draft. Is I think a lot of teams realize that if they want to compete with the Chiefs, the Eagles of the NFL, is you have to do it with the trenches. You see where you saw a lot. This is a draft I saw more defensive tackles drafted than I can remember of any draft, along with edge guys and offensive linemen. I think you're seeing that. I think we're kind of seeing a shift back to kind of more of the traditional way of winning in the NFL, because at the end of the day, that's still the teams that in the playoffs, the teams that run the ball the best and stop the run and are able to get after the quarterback. They're the ones that win the Super Bowls.
At Cincinnati, a team that very well could have been playing in the Super Bowl last year. They lose. I think they lost Eli Apple, Von Bell, and Jesse Bates this offseason. With their first-round pick, they could have taken Brian Branch. They could have taken Joey Porter Jr. They could have taken one of the safeties on the board. Nope. Who'd they go with? They went with Myles Murphy. Even though you already have Joseph Asai, Sam Hubbard, Trey Hendrickson, you can't have enough guys coming off the edge, rushing the passer and keeping those fresh bodies, always having new tires on the race car. That's how you have to win. And, this year, Mahomes in that AFC title game in the Chiefs offense, sure, they were down their 3 best receivers, but you know what? Their offensive line stayed healthy, and for the most part, they kept quarterback up. Osai got around a little bit. He got around Orlando Brown Jr. a few times, but for the most part, Patrick, on a bum ankle, was protected well. So you just need to keep coming with these guys after these quarterbacks. And, I think teams are finally realizing that, I could have the Legion of Boom, but if this quarterback's got 4 or 5 seconds behind me, he's going to eat me alive.
Yep. And the Bengals are a team that you look back at their drafts the past few years, they've drafted tremendously well. And especially on the defensive side of the ball, they have a really good D coordinator who understands his roster and puts those guys in spots to be successful, and it showed.
One thing I don't think, in terms of the Vikings at least, like what people didn't realize about Brian Flores, I guess, I was reading about this yesterday, but how much he loves versatility, especially in the secondary. That explains a lot of their safety pick at LSU, who's played the nickel. He's played outside. He's played safety, obviously. I think he's from LSU, if I remember right. And then even the USC guys played some safety as well. So what he likes to do is really just disguise what they're doing, put these guys in different spots where maybe they're not super comfortable, but they played there. They can just rotate them last second, stuff like that. Really just to confuse the offense more than anything. Because let's be real, the Vikings defense probably isn't going to be that great, but the better you disguise it, obviously, the harder it is for those quarterbacks to.
Guys, I got to say this with this Vikings defense. I think they took on the identity of Ed Donatel last year. We're conservative, laid back. We're going to play this shell. If yards on us, who cares? Flores, he's going to come in with a different attitude. Again, Ethan, I'm with you. I'm not saying they're going to be a top 10 defense next year. They might not even top half defense. They could be a top 20 defense, but they're going to have a different attitude. And he's, you could probably tell he told Kwesi, these are the kind of guys that I want. Byron Murphy in the offseason from Arizona. He played a little nickel, bringing in people that he want, position versatility, like you said. And hopefully that only helps this Vikings secondary going forward this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. And just Brian Flores, his presence is going to make that defense better for sure.
Absolutely.
But
we're not going to.
He came from New England, and what do you? If you want to play for Belichick, you better be able to play 2 or 3 different positions.